Hello, I'm Jake Walowski, and here in this video, I'll be showing you, starting off with the first video for BetterUI, which is the project for redesigning popular screens, popular UI interfaces with a focus on conversion, with a focus on ease of use. And in this first video, I chose VWO's dashboard screen. VWO is a cool company which we use all the time for all of our optimization experiments. They offer software which allows to set up A/B tests. And this is one of the screens we've been looking at for over a couple of years on many of our tests, many of our projects. And here in this video, I brought with me a couple issues, couple good UI principles, which I wanted to surface, and then later on in a follow-up video, react to in a form of an actual interface concept. Again, the software is pretty powerful. We use it, so just because we found all these issues, don't feel like it's terrible software. It's pretty good. It could be better. Hence the BetterUI project. Since all of these BetterUI videos actually focus on a primary goal, a conversion, have a purpose in terms of increasing something. For this video, I chose a goal. By the way, this is my own personal goal, which I feel could be VWO's business goal as well. This is how I see what's probably most important on this screen. The goal that I set for myself here is increasing the rate of winning decisions. So that when users actually come to this page and they look at a particular test, this dashboard screen is for a given live test. They look at it with the purpose of making a decision. I think the three options are: you keep the test running because it still needs to collect more data. It's still baking and it's not significant and it needs more time. Or there's a point in time where the test should be stopped and we move on, we cut our losses and come up with better testing ideas. Or ideally, if we're doing our job pretty well, stopping the test and claiming a winner or implementing a particular variation. So actually finding a winning variation. And I think that's the goal I'd like to optimize for, is to help people make that decision, that winning decision, increasing their rate, increasing the number of winning decisions in a given time frame. And that's how I see this whole project. If more people find more wins, they will extract more value and use the software hopefully more. So here I have a couple good UI ideas which I'll be applying. Right now in this video, I'm just raising the issues, and I also tag them with a level of certainty. Recently I've been thinking about certainty on a scale of 0 to 10, and here all these numbers on the right hand side, they actually represent a degree of certainty. Because I actually don't have real tests to back these particular issues, I resorted just to sticking to the subjective part of the scale. So you see a lot of 3s and 4s and so forth. Hopefully, with more time, if I was actually if I actually had more tests to support these, I would be able to increase my level of certainty further. Okay, so I'll start off kind of one by one. Distinct clickable styles. So when I look at the screen on this dashboard, I see a lot of different colors, a lot of different styles representing where a particular person is in a given for various given states. There's blues, which indicate selected styles. Green here is used for suggesting that the test is running. This light white background is used to denote that this particular goal is selected. So typically, when I see these variations, these different styles, I think it adds more stress, cognitive stress on a person trying to figure out where they actually are, and unifying these styles into a more more of a coherent system could be one potential solution. Okay. So that was distinct clickable styles, grouping related items together. So the calls to action, these are the main action decision. This is where the decision happens: running, pause. Whereas the recommendation is actually right here. So grouping these two together, I believe, would make more sense. Visual hierarchy. Most of the data looks equal weight. So if I actually look at this screen, a lot of this data here is and copy and text is shown with an equal font size, which makes it a little bit hard to decide, okay, what's that most important thing I should be looking at and deciding based on. So there's a couple things we could potentially highlight or emphasize. I mean, the recommendation is one thing, could be bigger. I mean, if that's the most important thing, that if we want people to read this immediately, hey, keep the test running for 1 more week, we could build it up. We could increase that size so that there's more variety in terms of font size. Expectation setting. What's going to happen if I actually click pause? So, I mean, it's great. The software is recommending something, keep the test running. But what will happen if I know more than the software? I mean, the software knows what it knows based on statistics, but I also bring, or users could be bringing in business knowledge, past test data. They might be ready to make a decision sooner than the software is suggesting. So being a little bit more transparent and telling people, again, what would happen if I do decide to stop this test or implement this test? What risks, what benefits? And letting people know about that. Recognition. There's no quick reminder of what the variations are. Actually, this is based on experience as well, a little bit. So these variations here, great. I mean, they're coded, color-coded. We, in this particular test, we labeled them somehow, but on occasion, actually many times, it's very difficult to imagine what these variations, how they look like, what has actually changed in this particular test. So recognition is easier than recall. And what if there were thumbnails for particular variations? Just make recognition a little bit easier. Fewer borders. There's quite a bit of lines, background colors, divisions, zebras. Adds a lot of noise. All these little elements, they add up and they have to be processed or ignored by human brains. So I think there's some room for simplification. Friendly comparisons. By this, I mean that just looking at the graph itself, this distance is far away, okay, which makes it a little bit more difficult to compare, and also the height of these bar graphs makes the narrow height makes them more difficult to compare. I mean, you can see that blue is a little bit above orange, but there could be ways to make these visual comparisons easier. Consistency. Table data is not consistent with the recommendation. So again, I'm not going to go into statistics, and I'm sure VWO has an army of statisticians who know more on the topic. But at first glance, for many users out here looking at this, have a look at this. There's a recommendation which asks this person here to run the test longer. Meanwhile, there's other data here saying that there's a 99 chance to beat. So I think there is a bit of a inconsistency in what's happening here. On one hand, the software is telling me it doesn't have enough time, it doesn't have enough data, and in another representation is actually screaming, I'm ready, like this is 99, like you should be good to go. So something could be made a little bit clearer on this front. Merging similar functions together. I also feel that this table is actually showing the same data here, just in a different view. So this graph and these tables are showing the same variations, similar data differently. Maybe there's some other additional data here, which is great. So it's an opportunity for our merge, so that again, people are not strained, and the decision can be made. There's less data to be processed, and hopefully the decision to run or pause can be the chance for that decision to happen can be clarified, and then that can be increased. So yeah, these are 9 changes here, 9 issues, 9 recommendations. This is the first part of the video, and another follow-up video, I'll be actually taking this and doing a conceptual sketch of how I see this screen. All right, thanks.